Hello friends, Vince Burlapp here. Today we are talking about the Acura MDX, specifically the Type-S model of the big SUV, which costs about $10,000 more than other versions. It has big wheels, no chrome, and red brake calipers, which are code words for sporty. In case you still can't tell how special it is, Acura added Type-S logos everywhere around the car, so your friends and neighbors know you deserve the best and bought the most expensive model. You're just too snazzy and trendy to buy a family SUV. You need the finest of all things, and you want everyone to know it. Even though the Acura MDX looks like any other big, boring SUVs out there, Acura outdid themselves with the size of their logo on this MDX. It looks like a medieval shield, and I'm pretty sure it is larger than my face. You could also probably use it as a side table or an oddball frisbee. Inside, the Type-S welcomes you with a bright red and black interior, something your friends will be talking about for many moons. You will hear words like special, original, or different. They'll never tell you how horrible they think it is. Your expensive, sporty model welcomes you with a Type-S screen, an extra feature well worth the extra $10,000 you spent over the regular MDX. The interior is both impressive and quite busy, with lots of that piano black plastic finish most people hate. There is a charging pad for your phone, but also a strange little extra gimmick that pops up and includes two USB-C plugs. I guess USB plugs have become something people are ashamed of these days and need to be hidden from view. That little gadget is actually fun to play with and quite addictive in a healthy way. It took me about 20 minutes to stop playing with it, and I felt sad and lonely when it was over. The seats are, well, very red, but also very comfortable. The Type-S also includes a massage feature for both front seats, which feels more like a very low-grade random medieval torture. And believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Button lovers, rejoice. The MDX steering wheel has answered your wildest prayers. Here they are, everywhere. Knobs, switches, and controllers. They're all here ready to be touched, grabbed, and played with. The MDX has a big storage area under the armrest. Large enough for my trusty screwdriver, thank God. Although it's a bit plasticky and not adjustable at all, which is a major disappointment for an $85,000 car, something many will not forgive or ignore. In many cases, anger will slowly grow over weeks and months of ownership, leading to an amount of rage and fury few have ever seen or experienced. Speaking about rage and fury, Acura has not yet fixed the Infotainment trackpad controller. At least the ELS studio sound system is fantastic. For your extra $10,000, you now get a signature edition version with 25 speakers, which sounds almost exactly like the 16-speaker version in the other cheaper MDX models. At least your friend will be very impressed by the signature edition carving in the front speakers. The smaller extra speakers everywhere don't have that special carving or metal finish, only plain-looking cheap plastic. Just make sure no one sees this. At night, the MDX puts on quite a light show. The door handles are illuminated, just in case you are too confused to find them in the dark. Once you open the door, a huge Acura logo lights up the sidewalk, making sure you and your friends are aware you're driving something special and more expensive than a Honda. Inside, even the speakers are lit up to welcome you into your fancy above-average chariot. Lights everywhere, in random shapes, just like a 1980s laser show. And yes, That Acura light is still there, like an upside-down bat signal. And look, your very own Type-S door sill light, a well-spent $459 option, over the $10,000 extra you already spent on the Type-S version. These two useless and expensive gimmicks will fill your friends with envy and desire, which will hopefully quickly turn into resentment and bitterness over their own lives, lives that can never be as adequate as yours. The rear seats have even more buttons and switches and plugs, especially this one, where you can pluck everything from a blender to an ice maker. Making your own margaritas in the back seat of your fancy SUV is one of these rare pleasures only a few humans will ever enjoy. You are part of a very rare breed, and you know it. For the less fortunate of your friends, the MDX offers a third row of seats. They're not very roomy, and it's pretty hard to get in there. But who cares? They're far behind, and you will probably never hear their complaints and general whining. They will shut up eventually. Or you can just turn up Barry White on 70s on 7. Their dissatisfaction will be no match for your 25 speakers. And that tiny rear window will be another well-deserved punishment. Those lucky enough to sit in the second row will be able to block a bit of the outside world and act like a celebrity for a few short minutes of their dreadful and mundane lives. The Acura MDX Type-S comes with a bunch of what they call dynamic modes. With the push of a button, you can choose to be your own individual or someone who likes boring things. Acura calls it normal. You can also drive through snow or pretend you do, or even lift the car a few inches to drive over roadkill. There is also a sport mode that looks like you're driving through the gates of hell. You can also pick the individual setting and become the master of your own car, because control is what you're all about. There is no pleasure like the joy of controlling everything and everyone around you. However, the control only lasts until you stop your car. Since every time you restart, things go back to normal. It's Acura's perverse way of telling you that no matter what your mother told you over and over, you're not that special after all. The Acura MDX offers what they call a commanding view of the road, something I'm not a fan of, since I am well adjusted and don't feel the need to be in command of anything like the road. The MDX is a very nice SUV. Even if all these dynamic modes don't really change anything much, it is always quiet and comfortable, which is secretly what we all want, isn't it?